Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crocheters Creed, and today we are going to be making a BTS inspired pillow. It's a pretty short and simple project, and BTS has multiple colors for their logo or their name or whatever, and I'm only going to be using the black and white one because I don't have Galaxy. I saw a really cute Galaxy one, but I don't have the colors for it, so I'm just going to do the black and white one. So you will only need white yarn, and you will also need black yarn. The hooks that you will need for this project are a 5.5, let me back it up, a 5.5 millimeter hook, and you will also need a 4.25 millimeter hook. You see that? A 4.25 millimeter hook, or the smallest hook that you have if you don't have that. You will also need a stitch marker, some scissors, and also a yarn needle, but of course I always lose mine. But you'll also need a yarn needle. I think this is one of those projects that I will actually be sewing in my stuff instead of gluing. So only a sewing needle, but if you, in stuffing of course, but if you want to use the glue gun and the glue, it's entirely up to you. It's optional if you want to. So let's, okay, now I apologize for the fan noise in the background. As you know, it's been pretty hot lately, and I'm trying not to die while filming this video. So, if that's annoying, I'm sorry, I apologize. And also the lighting, I'm trying my best to find new ways of lighting up my videos. Right now I have a thing in front of me, and I like it for the most part, but it makes it look a little bit too bright, so I'm trying to figure out better ways for lighting, but I apologize for that too. But, okay, so starting with the, of course, how you know I make pillows, we're going to make two pillow sides. So starting out with the pillow sides, you are going to take your black yarn and your 5.5 millimeter hook. Ooh, come on. I'm unraveling my yarn. And your 5.5 millimeter hook, let me get my pattern. And you are going to make a magic circle and put 10 single crochet into that magic circle. So I'm going to make my magic circle. Gonna make my magic circle. You're going to put 10 single crochet into that magic circle. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, of course, you know the drill. You're going to pull your thing through and slip stitch in that top stitch. And then you're going to chain 1. Now you're going to take your stitch marker, and of course how we normally do when we start to expand, for row 1 you are going to put an increase in the next stitch, and then in the, so put an increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then you are going to put 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Now after that, you are going to put an increase in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch after that, and you're going to continue this pattern all the way around for row 1, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet all the way around for row 1. Alright, now I've ended my row 1. This is my row 1. I'm going to chain 1. Put your stitch marker into that chain 1. And for row 2, you are going to put an increase in that first stitch, or in that next stitch. You're going to put an increase. So that's 1, 2, and then in the next stitch after that, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch, you're going to put another single crochet. So of course, again, increase 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, increase 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm going to put my increase in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, that's 1, go into the next stitch, that's 2, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around for row 2. Now we're at the end of our row 2. You're going to slip stitch into that top stitch with the stitch marker. Excuse me. Wait, I think I went to the wrong thing. Hold on. Yeah, I went to the wrong one. You're going to slip stitch, chain 1, move your stitch marker, and for row 3, let me still look at my pattern to make sure that this is following the right one. For row 3, you are going to, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're going to be continuing this for, well, this type of pattern until you get to row 9. Excuse me. So I will show you just in case, like I said, for those who don't, want to just be told. For row 3, you're going to put an increase in the next stitch. So an increase. And then you're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3. Now after that, you're going to put an increase in the next stitch after that, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around with an increase, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and so on until you get back to your stitch marker. Okay, now this is what it's, beginning to form. You're going to slip stitch into that top stitch. And like I said, I'm going to explain it anyway, but for those who have seen my projects and, I've done this type of, I don't like how that looks. I've done this type of pattern at the beginning of my things before. So basically the row that you are on, like for row 3, we did 1 single crochet in the next 3. For row 4, it's the same thing. You're just upping a single crochet as you go to the row. So if you're on row 4, you need 4 single crochet in that row. If you're on row 5, 6, 7, row 7, you need 1 single crochet in the next 7. And we're going to be continuing this all the way into row 9. So when you get to row 9, increase 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches, and so on and so forth. But I'm still going to show you and explain it just for those who, are visual learners. We just stopped on row 3, so for the row 4, I'm going to do an increase in the next stitch, increase in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next 4. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Now you're going to go into the next stitch, do an increase, and continue this pattern all the way around for row 4. Okay, now after row 4, of course, you're going to chain 1, add your stitch marker, and for row 5 you are going to put an increase in that next stitch, and then you're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're also going to do an increase in that next stitch, and you're going to continue this pattern all the way around for row 5. Once increase, 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, increase. Okay, now you see your thing is starting to, let me get that out the camera, starting to form. Now you have your, it's starting to form a little bit. We've got our row 5. So now, of course, you chain 1, add your stitch marker for row 6. You're going to go into the next stitch and do an increase. Do an increase, and then the next 6 stitches, you do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So that's 2, 3. With black yarn, you can't really see the stitches. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, of course, after that, you are going to put an increase, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around. Increase 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and so on and so forth. Now, moving on to row 7, go into the next stitch and do an increase. And then in the next, do 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So that's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now after you have your 1 single crochet in the next 7, you're going to put an increase in the next stitch after that, and continue your pattern with 1 single crochet in the next step, 7, why do I keep saying 7, increase, and so on and so forth until you get to the end of row 7. Okay, now we're moving on to row 8. Moving on to row 8, do an increase in that next stitch. And of course, with the way I make my pillows, you're gonna have to make another one of these, so 2 of these. But you're gonna put 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, and 8. Now you're going to put an increase in that next stitch, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around for row 8. Also, if you would like, tell me who's your favorite member, or you don't have to pick favorites. I know some people don't like to pick favorites. I know I don't. But if you have one, who's your favorite member of BTS, and what's your favorite song? Because when BTS first came out, well, I wouldn't say first came out, but when I really paid attention to them, because I have a lot of things tend to slip my attention, and I kept hearing about this K-pop group, because I love K-pop. This group called BTS, so I was like, I finally listened to them, and the first song that I ever listened to is Not Today, which is my favorite song of BTS, which I think is dope. I feel like it's one of those songs where, it's really inspirational to me, no, not today, we're going to keep moving on, we're going to keep trying, and that's one of my, I know there are a lot of inspirational songs out there, but that's one where a lot of inspirational songs I feel make you cry, but Not Today makes you hype. So I really love Not Today. That's really one of my favorite songs of theirs. But wait, I was not counting my stitches. Hold on. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I was doing good. Okay. So we're gonna go into that increase, and you're gonna complete this all the way around for row 8. Alright, now we're getting to row 9, which is the last row of increases. At this point, of course, you increase, and then the next 9 stitches, you do 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So that's 9. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to do an increase. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. I'm pretty sure I may make more K-pop crochet stuff because, like I said, I am a big fan of K-pop. Oh, and you can also drop that in the comments too. Who's your favorite? If it's BTS, I know the fans of BTS will be here, but if you're fans of other K-pop groups, who are your favorite K-pop groups? All of mine have since disbanded, so my only group that is still together fully is Mamamoo. I really like them. But my favorite K-pop girl group of all time was Miss A. I really love To Anyone, Kara. Oh my gosh, I could go on for days about K-pop. And my favorite boy group was Dobashigi or TVXQ. So, and now, oh, I really love that. I'm just getting to because I'm gonna just continue on with this. I really love BAP. Okay, anyway. So, you got the increase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're going to do an increase, and you're going to continue this all the way around for row 9. And remember, this is your last row of increases before you just get on to single crochet. Now we have reached our last row of increases. Now we're going to go and just continue. The rest of these rows are just going to be single crocheting all the way around. And for rows 10 through 17, you are going to chain 1 and you're going to do 1 single crochet all the way around for rows 10 through 16. Now, once you do that, your pillow part, you're going to make 2 of them, should look like this. How that just plopped on the table. And your pillow part should look like this. It's really tiny. I just wanted a tiny, cute little pillow. So, this is what your pillow part should look like. And of course, you're going to make 2. And now we're going to move on to the, I don't know what those are called, but like the 2 white slits. No, they're not slits, but you know what I mean. You know the BTS logo. Oh, also something I wanted to say is I've tried, of course, the BTS logo has BTS on it, and I was trying my hardest to crochet a B. The T was fine and the S was fine, but this is the one part that I have not tested yet. So I did crochet a B, a T, and an S, but I'm not sure how I like the way it looks. I can show you guys what it looks like after I crochet those 2 little block thingies. I don't know what they're called, but no disrespect, I don't know what they are. I'll show you what I've made, and you guys can choose which ones you want to make. But what I'm thinking now, because I got so frustrated with it, is I'm just going to sew in the letters onto the pillow before I stuff it, because I just got so frustrated because the B, the T, and the S at the bottom of it is very tiny. You know, it's letters, of course, so the letters aren't blocky, and the letters that I was making were too blocky for the pattern. I just didn't think it looked right. So I'm going to show you how to make these two little slits. Oh, I don't want to show you yet. And then you can either decide. I did make I did make chains out of the letters and connected them all together, or you can just sew them in. It's really up to you, but I'll see what I like. And okay, I'm just unraveling my yarn to my black yarn, since that was a demonstration. But what you will need now, there's no more black yarn right now. You're going to take your white yarn and your 4.25 millimeter hook. Let me go to the page that I have the pattern on. Yes, you're going to take your 4.25 millimeter hook, and you are going to chain 12. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Wait hold on just a minute. I chained 12, but I'm gonna check this just in case. You can chain however many you want, but of course they're gonna be back to back. I would chain 11, because 12 looks like it's gonna be too long. Because of course the letters have to go down here. So I would chain 11. Chain 11. Let me change that. Well, 11 or 12. It really doesn't matter, because the first stitch that you do is going to tighten. Like this stitch right here is a little tight. So 11 or 12. To do 11. Just do 11 for pattern's sake. So now after you change your 11, you are going to single crochet across this chain. Wait, let me move this. And you're going to single crochet across. Now, something that I was thinking about, I remember when I first heard about K-pop, I got it confused with Kids Bop, because it was like a K and then like a op at the end. And I looked it up and I was like, if this is K-pop, this is not very good. And then I finally looked up what it was. And the first video that I ever watched for K-pop was the TVXQ Humanoids. And then what's funny is they turned out to be one of my favorite boy groups later on. I just didn't know who they were. I watched it and I was like, oh, this is kind of okay. And then I watched it again after I loved them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember going back to y'all's video. So that was your that was your starting row. Now for row 1 and 2, you are going to chain 1 and single crochet in every stitch across. So you're going to go into that same stitch so it'll line up more. And you're going to single crochet across for rows 1 and 2. Excuse me. Yeah, but that was my first video I ever watched. And then it was what do you call it? Hyuna's Bubble Pop. I love Hyuna. And then I watched her in Psy's featuring of her with Gangnam Style, which people believe that like K-pop originated from Gangnam Style. And I do love Psy, but that's not, that's not the case. But then I found a plethora of people after that. So do 1 single crochet in the next in every stitch around across for row 2, and I'll be back to show you what you do for row 3. Now for row 3, what you're going to do is you're going to do an increase in the beginning of the row, so in that the that same stitch, this one, you are going to do an increase. So one single crochet and go back and do another increase, or another single crochet, and you're going to do an increase in the beginning and the end of the row. So after that increase, you're going to just single crochet down that row. Ooh, I messed that up. Increase, not increase, just single crochet across. Increase in the last stitch, and of course it's going to start to form this, it's going to start to form that. Now I'm going to test it on my thing, because these are both, you're going to make 2 of these too, and they're going to go back to back. So that's still a pretty decent size. So after row 3 of that increase for row 4, you are just going to single crochet, chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet down the entire row. But yeah, that's how you make these 2, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to make the letters. I'm actually going to sew mine on and see how that looks, and if it doesn't look right, we're going to have to figure something else out, because I was not satisfied with how the letters looked. And I was excited for this pillow because it's like, I haven't made a K-pop. If I did, I don't remember. A K-pop anything. K-pop crochet inspired anything. So, this is my first one. So I'm excited for it, and I just want everything to look, how it would look on the logo, and the letters were just not coming together for me. Okay, that's perfect. Now row 4, you're going to end on row 4, just chain 1, yarn off, and if you are sewing, leave in a long tail. If you are gluing, sew in your tail to the back of your thing, and you're going to make 2 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I haven't done the letters I can't speak today. Because I haven't done the letters yet, what I'm going to do first, which I would normally do if this was already made, I'm going to sew in my two parts. I'm going to sew in my 2 back parts like this, and I'll show you how that looks. And then I'm going to add on the letters and see how they turn out. And then after that, if I do like that, I'm going to show you the entire time so that you know what to do, because this might be a little bit hard because you're sewing on letters, and a lot of these, a B doesn't have all straight letters, and neither does a S. Or you can glue yours on, but that might be a little dangerous. So I'm going to add on you're going to make 2 of these, add those on to your pillow part, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to. I've been looking for this needle for 20 minutes, and guess where it was? I stack up a pair of books so that my camera can be higher, so you can look down on the stuff, and it was underneath the pile of books. So I found it. So I'm gonna show you guys this is what it looks like so far. And of course the letters are going to go down here, just BTS right here. I think it looks a little bit better glued, but of course with the thing you have no thing on the back. So I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna attach my white yarn to my needle and see if this is gonna work out. Okay, there's my needle. So Oh, I need to move this back. But okay, so first, of course, we start with the bee. I'm going to push this out so you can see the stuff a little bit more, because this is curled up at the bottom. But that's how much space I have. I put it mostly in the middle. My two little things, I put it mostly in the middle. So the B, the T, and the S has a good amount of space. So starting with the B, of course, how you've seen me sew, you're gonna go through the back with your white, have your white yarn attached, go through the back, and I think that's how long I want my B to be. Alright, now that's the B part. I'm gonna snip this. I'm just seeing how this will go. If this may not even be in the video if I don't like the way it looks. So now we got the line for the start of the B. I'm gonna add my thing back on. I don't know how to do this any other way. I don't sew. Maybe it's the easier way to do this, but this is just how I do mine because I am not that skilled at sewing. So I don't want to tie this on. I'm going to tie it on really loosely in case I don't like it and I can just take it apart or pull it off. So there's the B. Now we have to make it round, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. So how about we go back into this stitch that you pulled, that you went into, go back underneath and go through that stitch again, and then stop, and then maybe go in right here in the middle right here, push that down. Come on. Push that down, and maybe you would have to like curve it like this, and you could glue that little part in. Okay, this doesn't look bad so far. Wait, I might have pulled this out. So we got a P right now. But this part right here would have to be glued down, so I guess a glue gun is needed for this. Like I said, I don't even know if this video is going in, but so far it's turning out pretty well. So I'm just going to keep going to see how it's going to look. But before this, either in the description or wherever, I'm going to make it clear that you will need a glue gun because you really can't do it without it then. But see the B right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in to the back through this stitch. So I'm going to go through the back stitch again because it's a B, and go up, pull that up, and go into this. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. I went in through the underneath this little loop, and I'm going to go into this loop again. And of course you're going to want to leave a little loop for a B. Did you see that? Sorry. A little loop for a B. And that actually looks nice, so I think that we're going to keep this in. But remember, like I said, you're going to have to slightly glue or pin this little part down, just a little bit of glue, and push it down so it actually looks like, you know, a B, and maybe glue something right here to make it. But that is your B. So that looks good. I like that. We're keeping this in. So now that I like what this looks like, I'm going to go into the back, and I'm going to lightly pull my stuff so that it looks a little bit tighter at the front. See what that looks like? Yeah. And then, like I said, of course, I'm going to glue a tiny bit of glue to the both B's so it sits flat like that. And then now we're going to move on. I'm going to tie the rest of these in, and we're going to move on to the, I hope this does not tie it. Let me make sure. Okay. We're going to move on to the T, which should be really easy to do for sewing in because it's just a line and a line. Did I do that? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure like I don't tie it too tight because these loops, the loops aren't taut to anything. But there's the B. So now we're going to go to the T, which is mostly in the middle here. And you're going to take your yarn needle again, push the white yarn through. And for the T should be really simple. So you're going to go back, move these things. Sorry, my thing keeps pushing up. I'm trying to show you guys. So the same length you want it as the T. So I'm going to go about right, I don't know if you can see that, but right there and to there. Or right there to maybe, yeah, right there to here. So you're going to go back into the back of your thing, push it through. And like I said, this is just a line. So line it up to the B. So the B is about right here. So your line should be about right here. So you're going to go in, pull that out. There's your T. I'm going to snip this off. There's your T. I can actually tie this since I know that I want to do this now. So I'm going to tie this. Remember to tie it lightly so that it won't pull as much. Tie it lightly on the first tie and then hard on the second one. So it looks, you know, right, you can see now it looks a little bit tighter. Now you're gonna reattach your needle to your white yarn and reattach your needle to your white yarn, and you are going to just do the top part of the T, which is, it's a T, so I'm going to start maybe right here and go across to here. So I'm going to go in through the back, sorry, I'm going to go in through the back and I'm going to go about right here, and I'm going to pull up my thing. Oh, sorry, this is in the front. Let me get this situated so you can see. I pulled up through the back and I'm going to stop right here. So pull that through. And there is, I don't think I like the way that looks. Hold on, let me see. That looks a little weird. Yeah, that looks a little weird. I don't like that. Let me do that again. Because I don't like the way that the T looks. Okay, we're going to try this again. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. I'm going to go in through the back about, oop, not right there. About right here. And you're going to go across and go back in about right there. Maybe that'll look a little bit better. Is that too tall? That's taller than the B. Maybe I'll do it right here, maybe. B, T, do I like the way that looks? Okay, that looks fine. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure I like the way this looks. And there is your T. So I'm gonna tie this on, just to make it, wait, where are these strings? Right here. I'm gonna tie this on, and then we're gonna come back and make the S. Now I'm not sure if I want to glue the little tiny little pieces on yet. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit to make it. There's your B and there's your T. That looks alright, I guess. I don't want to, I don't know if I want to glue it in, because when you stuff it, of course, it's going to bulge out, and the effect may make it look a little bit weird. So for the S, we're going to take, I have so many pieces, I'm going to actually snip all of these, because this is pretty much done. So I have my, reattach my yarn. Oh, there's so many scraps of yarn. I'm going to reattach my yarn, and we're going to try the S. So the S has multiple loops, so you may have to glue a lot more than you would the B, the 2 loops here for the B, and a little bit for the T up here, because if you see, it keeps doing that. It keeps doing this little thing. It looks like a cross. So I have to make sure that I put a little bit of glue at the top there, so that it just looks like that, which looks a lot better. Okay, pray for me. Okay, I'm gonna try this S. So for the S should go about right here. So I'm gonna go through the back, make sure that it's the same size. This is a S. Now we want to do it where we go like this, you know, to the side. So I'm gonna go in, I guess, a few things diagonally from where I went to. So I'm gonna go right here, maybe. And that may be too close to the thing. Sorry, I was doing this without y'all. Okay, so for the, let me pull this out so I can show you again how I did it. So for the T, like I said, thank God that they have multiple S's that look different, because the one that I'm going to do looks like sort of like a 5, but it's easier to sew in. With the S, if I were to just do it like a regular S, I feel like I would have had to use the glue gun a lot, and the glue gun can be pretty dangerous depending on how hot it is, and I don't want you to burn yourself. So I'm just going to make the one that looks like an S. We all know who they are. You know, it's just an S. So for the S, what we're going to do is you're going to go into one of the stitches. Make sure that you leave an equal gap in between the letters. And I'm going to go maybe right here. I'm going to pull that in like that. Now you're going to cut off your yarn. And I'm going to take this off. Come on. Take this off. And reattach your yarn to your yarn needle. Oh, is that in? Okay. And then we are going, that's the S part. Pull that taut. I'm not going to tie these yet until I like what it looks like. So now, of course, for the S, let me put that up farther so you can see. For the S, you're going to go down. So you're going to put a strip down like this. Then yarn off, put a strip down like that. Yarn off, down like this, down like that. Okay, so I'm still going to show you guys. So I'm going to tie this lightly just to keep it in place, but not too tight. So if I don't like it, I can undo it. So now we're going to go into the same stitch. We're going to go back through this stitch. And we're going to go, excuse me, down just a little bit. So don't go too far down. And you're going to do that. Is that too small? Let me see. Put a little S right here to see. No, is that good? No, that's fine. Alright, so I'm going to actually pull this out a little bit more because it's not, the S isn't showing up, and pull it out a little bit to make it look a little bit bigger. I don't know, I feel like that looks lopsided. Let me do that again. Go back through this. I'm gonna do, I like it looking like that. I'm gonna go in, it's pretty much the same stitch, and pull through. And that's your thing. Now you're gonna yarn off, cut your yarn, tie that lightly. And then you're gonna make the line across like this. Oh, you can't see, sorry. You're gonna make the line across this. So you're gonna go back in with your yarn. I know this is a lot of retaching and attaching the yarn needle, but you know, all for the project. So you do what you gotta do for the project. So you got the S to this. Now we're gonna go across like this with it. So you're gonna go back into that. Sorry, you can't see. You're gonna go back into this stitch, this, and you're gonna go across like that. So you're gonna go into this stitch now, into this one to go back out. Let me make sure that lines up. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out a little bit more to make it look a little bit tighter. I'm gonna cut those, lightly tie that one. And then, so that's your doot. Now we're gonna make a line down here. Sorry, still can't see. Down here, so a line going straight down, then that way. So I'm gonna reattach your white yarn, and you're gonna go into that same stitch, or this same stitch. You're gonna go out, you're gonna come out from behind it, push it up through, and you're gonna go down like this. So about maybe here. I'm gonna see how that looks. See how that looks. And you're gonna go down like that. So I'm gonna pull that out just a little bit. I'm running out of yarn for this. So we'll yarn for this thingy, and I'm gonna pull that, tie that loosely. And so it's coming together. And then the last line will be, of course, straight across like that. So I'm gonna take more of your white yarn. Move this. Sorry, it's so many scraps. I'm gonna try to clean it up here. You're gonna take this. Why are there so many tiny little scraps here? Take this and add your white yarn again, and then you're gonna go back into this stitch. So go back in. Let me do it so you can see it. Go back in this stitch, and you're just gonna go across and make sure it lines up with this line too. So about right here. And no, that looks weird. Let me do that again. Let me do that again. I don't like the way that looked. Go into this stitch, across and make sure this is what I like. I want it to look like. BTS. I'm gonna go down through this. Let me see what that looks like. BTS. Yeah, that actually looks good. I like that. So I'm going to cut off this, sew in my ends, or tie in my ends. Make sure you shape it to how, like, I gotta glue the T, this. But there's your BTS. Now, I'm gonna just start tying on these little strips of white to make sure that everything is secure, and just tie everything all together. You know, it really doesn't matter. Make sure, like this, how loose this is, to make sure that you go through and tie on these and make sure everything is tied together. I'm going to snip these a little bit shorter than this. And then now all that needs to be done now is, I think I will glue mine after I stuff it, just to make it look a little, because when you stuff it, it's gonna bulge out, and I don't want it to bulge out with this. Might have to glue down this some more too. So what you're gonna do now is just add in your pillow sides. Get your other pillow side, attach it to your other one, and you can either slip stitch around or you can single crochet around. Now, I'm going to add mine in, and of course I'm going to show you periodically, you know, single crochet around with both of the sides of the thing halfway. Okay, I'm just going to sew mine on, but for sewing you're just going to attach, like, that's why I said leave a long tail for, what in the world happened to my thing? Oh, I was about to say. Anyway, for sewing in, you just go through each side. It's very simple. And do this all the way around. I would sew it halfway through and then stuff your pillow so that you can sort of eye how much stuffing you want in your pillow. So go sew all the way around. I will come back to show you how I glue the tiny little bits that I want onto my pillow, and then we will be done. Okay, now I have stuffed my pillow. I'll push it down so you guys can see it a little bit more. I'm gonna start gluing in my little thing. Now what you want to do for the glue is just a very tiny smidge, and I'm going to pick this up very lightly and delicately and press that into that. Now the S, I gotta make sure that this, I'm trying to shape this, but the B, so the B, I'm going to put a little dot right there, and I'm just going to push the B into that. And the same thing for this part, put a little dot where, did I even push anything out? Put a little dot where the B is supposed to set, and then push that into it. And I also think I'm going to put a little glue right here, since this little slit is there, and push that. Push that into this. Ow, 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 owie, owie, ow, ow. I'm gonna move this, push that in. I don't like the way the S is looking so far. Okay, now I can pull this in a little bit. I'll push this down. I'm gonna glue this little part in too, since that part's coming up. And this part's coming up a little bit too. But I normally don't do my finished product right off the bat, but I'm going to sit this up like this, and then I will come back and show you, obviously, which you've already seen. Okay, this is the final product for the BTS pillow. I'm actually pretty excited about this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this tutorial, and I will see